Hello, I'm Andrea Lyons with the Association of Fundraising Professionals, the Southeastern Tennessee chapter, and we are celebrating diversity in development in observance of Black History Month. This week's featured fundraiser is none other than Mr. James McKissic. James is the president and CEO of Artsbuild here in Chattanooga. James, thank you so much for joining us today. It is a pleasure.
Thank you for having me and for inviting me to be with you today.
Sure, sure. Let me begin since you're in a slightly different position. You're a president of an organization. So
Mhm.
how much are you involved in fundraising for your organization?
So I'm really blessed at Artsbuild in that we have a development team,
Mhm.
but I am very intimately involved in fundraising. So we raise about $1 million a year and give it away to arts organizations, art projects, artists throughout Hamilton County. And we're able to do that because of our fundraising efforts. So we do an annual campaign. We solicit donations and do grants from federal, state, and local foundations. So we're really involved in fundraising. And the cool thing is that we also get to give away money too. So we get to
Sure.
see both sides of philanthropy.
That is awesome. That is great. Um, as a fundraiser, this is kind of, going into a little bit into your background. What do you think is a necessary trait for someone to really be successful in this line of work?
Well, I think especially now during the pandemic that creativity is something that you
Mhm.
definitely have to have. A lot of times the old ways are not working right now, so you're having to approach people through Zoom like we are today. Do digital meetings. Early on, we made a commitment that since we could not see people in person, we were going to commit to doing 10 touches a year. So we do emails and letters, phone calls. This year, I even sat down and did a series of long handwritten letters.
Wow.
And I was very pleased and surprised at the response that they got. They got me some phone calls and connections that we had been hoping to get.
That is awesome. That's great. And the word of the year, I think, has been pivot. We all
Pivot,
have to make that
pivot, and
move.
unprecedented. Those are the two words, right?
Absolutely. So it's great that you've been able to kind of capitalize on that aspect as well. Looking back over your career and you've worked in various aspects, what do you think is one thing that you are truly grateful for, an accomplishment that you were able to achieve?
Well, I'm going to say, especially this week, I've been thinking about how grateful I am for incredible mentorship,
Mhm.
especially with the passing of Mr. Warren Logan,
Oh, yeah.
who
Yes.
I worked with for 9 years at the Urban League,
Right.
and who taught me so much about fundraising and interacting and helped me with those relationships because I've always felt like fundraising is based on relationships.
Absolutely.
And when you have someone who is willing to make those introductions, connect you to the right people, and he was that type of person. So I do have to acknowledge him for that.
Most definitely. Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are without people like Mr. Logan and our mentors.
We're
So,
not, and
yeah,
we have to be that type of person too. So
that's a very good point.
um, that's something that I strive to do every day.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's talk a little bit about AFP. The organization has been around for a long time, but not many people really know what the organization does. What do you think has been one of the biggest benefits that you've gotten from being a member of AFP?
Well, and this is only my second year as a member of AFP. And it's something that I would always see or hear about. And I would say, I want to join, I need to join. And I'm so glad that I did. The forums that you have online are just amazing for learning about what other people around the country are doing in fundraising. This year, especially, I've participated in some online sessions related to diversity in the fundraising field. Last month, I even participated in a AFP forum just for Black men in fundraising, which
Wow.
was really cool because, you look around, there aren't that many of us out here. So just to see people at the top of their game doing great things was very inspirational for me as a fundraiser as
Sure.
well. But I think AFP is a great resource. We have a couple of other people on our staff who have joined,
Good.
and I think it's very beneficial. It's an investment in your career for sure.
Definitely. I would say the same for me, myself. For someone who may be starting out in fundraising, and sometimes, hearing no is not always easy, you can get discouraged. What words of encouragement would you share?
I would just say keep going. Remember, it's all about building relationships. So that first time that you meet a funder, it could be 2 years before you actually see the fruits of your labor. But just keep going. Don't give up. Find and connect to some great mentors, meet people, and definitely join the local chapter of AFP.
Well said. And on that, we will wrap up. Thank you all. Thank you, James McKissic, again, the president of Artsbuild here in Chattanooga. And thank you for joining us for another featured fundraiser as we celebrate diversity in development. I'm Andrea Lyons for AFP Southeastern Tennessee chapter. Thank you for joining us today.